Welcome to episode 4 of the Wealthy Me podcast. I am Tasha, your host, and I guide women to step into their wealthy era where wealth is defined as the feeling of ease, joy, and freedom. And this morning, we're talking about manifesting money. Hang on one quick second. Manifesting money faster. So, as you're all coming in, just say hi, give your love to each other. Yay! All right. So, what if manifesting money faster? And the number one money manifesting technique, because that's what this is all about. What's the number one money manifesting technique? What if you actually stopped trying so hard to manifest money? What if the technique is that you just stop trying so hard and you actually let money come to you? So I'm going to give you this amazing, I've been having so many stories and realizations and dots connecting for me over the last 3 weeks. Those of you that follow me, you know, I recently had our Goddess Wealth Circle retreat in Croatia. Go Goddesses. And I had this moment where I came back and I was looking at one of the photos that we took while we were away. And suddenly it hit me. Maybe 3 years ago, I was sitting in the Publix parking lot, which is the grocery store here in Florida. I paused for a second to scan through Instagram. I don't even know why I do that because that's not a thing. But I scan through Instagram and I see this picture of this influencer coach that I really admire her work pop up because I follow her. And it was her with a group of women in Italy. And she is like obviously on a boat or something looking at this sea, and it's clear they're, on some lake in Italy. And there are about maybe 5 or 6 women total in the picture. And I took a screenshot of it because in that moment, my heart's desire was just, oh my gosh, this would be like my wildest dreams come true, to be traveling internationally to beautiful destinations with amazing women. At the time, I had no program, nothing in my business, in my world that would allow for that. But that's all I did. I took a picture of this. I saved it in my photos in my phone, went on my merry way. 12 months later, I'm on a retreat in Jamaica with some women. And every time we do these, actually, Jamaica was the first international retreat that I had ever done. And at the end of this retreat, women ask, okay, what's next? Like they usually do. Every time I had a particular program that ended a retreat, which I always did here in the States. And so on this last one, the women are like, okay, what's next? What's next? Like they usually do. And I was like, you know what? The only thing I would ever want to do next is to take women around the world, talk about my life, share with you how I'm navigating business and life. And they were like, yes, we want that. Fast forward, I'm in Croatia. We take this picture. This is the largest group of this highest level that I've had to date. And so we ended up with, I think we were supposed to be 25 women. We ended up with maybe 21 of us in this photo. So I'm scrolling through my phone, looking at the pictures, and it hits me. I'm like, oh my God, because we literally, I have to tell you this other little piece. As we are about to do the formation for the photo, the photographer is like, what do you want the women to be doing? I was like, oh, I know exactly what I want them to be doing. I show him the photo from years ago of the coach in Italy with her 5 or 6 women. And he's like, okay, got it. So now we form our formation. We take our picture. I come home. I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, holy moly, there's like 3 to 4 times more women in this photo, and that's only the ones that were able to go on this retreat. And so in that moment, when we talk about manifesting, it just clicked for me. It was like, stop trying so damn hard to figure out the 50 different techniques and what's the number one technique, and to do all of these hula hoops and, the latest dance and the latest craze and umming, and just stop. The literal answer to the question is, what do you want to manifest? What is your desire? And when it comes to money, I'm going to tell you this right now. I did this diagram. Hopefully you can all see it. Hang on, because if you're on Instagram, you might not be able to. Okay, so I did this diagram to show you all. Hang on. There we go. I did this diagram to show you all. Right now, you're here. Okay. This is the whatever current level, when you go to the mall, it's like, you are here. This is the current level of money that is in your life. But when you talk about manifesting more money, you want like these big numbers up here. These are all dollar signs, by the way. So this is like, whatever you got going on right now, 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures maybe, but you want like the big digits, right? And so you're trying to figure out all the manifesting techniques to get you to this. Well, ladies, I want to tell you that the number one technique is actually to stop asking that question. You all know, if you know me very well, I love this quote by Tony Robbins that says, the right questions will change your life. Powerful questions. If you are willing to ask the right questions, it will change your life. And so what I realized when I looked at that picture was, stop asking how to manifest faster. That's not the right question. The transformational question, which I'm going to give you, you have to understand this piece first. When I was here wanting to manifest, when I took that screenshot of the photo of the 6 women, I was Tasha at a certain point in my own life's journey, my own business journey. The Tasha that I was when I took that photo in that parking lot could not hold 20-something women on a goddess retreat in Croatia. I was not equipped. So if I manifested that at that point, it would have been an absolute disaster. I didn't have the goods. I wasn't the woman who could carry that kind of wisdom and responsibility and showing the women. And it's the exact same thing with money, right? Everything that you want, the reason I saw that picture that day was because God, universe, source knew that in my makeup, in my lifetime, I was going to go on a retreat to Croatia with 20-something women. So to activate the desire so that I would be like, oh yeah, yes, I do. I want that. To activate the desire, I saw that picture. It's the same thing. You're here listening to me because your desire for a ton of money is activated, right? So let's just call it that. You want this. You want to listen to how to manifest big money, because call it what it is. You want it. All the things that it's going to bring to your life, the joy, the generosity, the spaciousness, the time, the freedom, the feeling safe. That's why this desire is activated. It is yours. This money is already yours. It is in your vortex, in your reality. You would not have the desire for it if it was not meant to be for you. Same thing. I wouldn't, other women would have scrolled by that picture and not be interested. Me, I saw the picture and it activated my attention and my desire, because I was meant to be having that manifestation in my life, right? So if the question isn't, how do I manifest? What's the number one money manifesting technique? What is the real question? What is the real question? The question is, how do I become the woman who my brain identifies as someone who carries this kind of money? Like, my brain says, you are this woman. Because so long as your brain says you are here, this is who you are, you're going to keep circling and circling. You could get the most magnificent manifesting technique in the world, which is why women will say, why isn't it working for me? I'm hitting a glass ceiling. Why can't I get past it? Wrong question. The wrong question. I can give you the best manifesting techniques I've ever used, and they work. But I'm going to tell you what I realized when I saw that photo. Holy macaroons, I've been going about it the hard way. I've been trying to write my affirmations and be committed to my journaling and, like all of this. I call it like doing cartwheels, which I'm not a gymnast, so I should not be doing cartwheels. But I call it doing all of this stuff, which does work. But as long as you're battling against who your brain sees you as, it's going to be harder. It's going to take longer. You're going to have to be more committed. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's not going to work. All roads lead to Rome, right? You are going to get there eventually. But trust me, sure as my name is Tasha, because what I realized when I saw that photo was I went back over all of my manifesting things, like the things that blew my mind the most. And I realized, oh my gosh, these all have one thing in common. So I'm going to tell you another story. When I was like right now, if I was watching this and you asked me, what is your wildest dreams come true? How much money would you want to manifest? There was a time in my life where I said, oh my God, if I saw $500,000 in my bank account, I would be like, you know, that feeling like I'm financially safe, everything's good, I got this. That's the way I thought about it, right? Like if I ever got to that point, I would be good. Hang on a second. Yeah, I would be good. And so I put that out there. I wrote it in my journal. I forgot about it. Kind of like this photo. The desire, I became aware of the desire, 500,000 in a bank account. I can't even figure out how I would do that. That would be mind blowing to me. So I wrote it down because I sure as heck had no idea how I was going to do it. I was not trying to figure out the number one manifesting technique for getting the 500,000 because honestly, my brain couldn't even compute. So all I did was I wrote it down, put it in a journal, put it away. Fast forward, I have completely forgotten about that. I'm in the process of buying my first house as a single woman. And you got to put your money together to show them like that you have the money, you can afford the house. And I had these 2 bank accounts at the time. And I realized as I'm filling out the form, sure enough, when I total the number, 505,000 or something crazy. I mean, I just stopped and wept. I was in tears because I was like, I didn't even try to generate 500,000. I was not focused on, let me figure out how to manifest $500,000. Nowhere in there in between did I ever do that. So are you seeing the pattern here? Hopefully you are all amazingly wise women. You can track patterns. What was the thing in common with the women from the picture to the 20-something women? What's the thing in common with the 500,000 and it just showing up? I was not stressing myself about trying to figure out how to do it. What happened was the woman who wrote down, I want to manifest $500,000, did not have the identity of the woman who added up her numbers and saw, oh my God, I've become that woman. I now have $500,000. So I want you to think about it like this. You want to manifest a ton of money, right? Think of it as you want to wear a size 2 dress, but right now you're a size 12. So in your closet, you go to the mall, you buy the cutest little size 2 dress, you hang it in your closet for inspiration, right? That's your goal. That's what you want. Kind of like the money. That's how much money you want. That's the size dress you want to wear. But the thing is, you have the dress. You have a size 2 dress. So it's not, how do I manifest like wearing a size 2 dress? The thing is, what you have to do is become the woman who fits in a size 2 dress, right? Become the woman who is a size 2 because you already have the dress. That's what I want you to know. You already have the money. The issue is not manifesting the money. The issue is not doing 50,000 things to manifest the money. The truth is, you couldn't have the desire if the money wasn't already yours. Whatever your number is, it's already yours. The work is not to figure out what to do to get it. The work is to figure out, how do I be the woman who has a life where all of this money is in her life? So the number one manifesting technique, if I were to give it to you right now, if I were to tell you, all right, this is what to do, like it's not to work harder. It's not to try to figure out all these crazy things. It's literally, and I say this with all the love in my heart, just ask yourself honestly, what does my heart really want? Like the number you want is what is meant for you. Write it down. Just write it down. I'm so happy and grateful. Don't put a date on it, whatever. Write it down. Let it go. From that point, the only thing that you have to do is be the woman that your brain identifies as a woman with multiple 6, multiple 7, an 8-figure life, an 8-figure business. Be that woman. Like the thing is, you can do all the things to manifest, but if your brain says it identifies you as a survivor. It identifies you as a hustler. It identifies you as the person who carries the responsibility burden. And therefore, it's not going to give you a ton of money because you feel like more money is going to be more responsibility. If your brain says you're a survivor, what do survivors do? They don't have excess. They just stay down here in circulation, surviving. Right? What do the hustlers do? Well, I tell you what, you're going to hustle. You're going to get from here to here. Then you're going to get exhausted. Then you're going to go back down here, burn out, start over again, try to get back up to here. And it's just, that's why it takes so long, right? So what we want to be asking, the transformational question is, how do I get my brain to identify me as the woman who has this kind of money? And what I realize is if I would have been doing that, if I would have been like feeding my brain this identity, the things would have happened faster. Because what I did was I just kind of set it and forget it. And I let life like carry me there. But in the process, it took a long time and it was hard and I went up and I went down. But holy macaroons, if I would have just been like, I'm just going to write it. I'm going to go about my everyday business. I'm not worrying. The woman who is certain is not trying to figure out the number one manifesting technique. I can promise you that. The woman who knows I only have this desire because it's already mine, she has set it and forget it. She's going about her business. And so what I want you to think about, two things right now. Does my brain identify me as this woman with all this money, or does my brain identify me as this woman in survival mode, struggling with a ton of responsibility about money, right? What's the other one? Oh my goodness, the hustler. So what I'm sharing with you is your brain has 6 different identity predictions for you around money. And whichever identity your brain has decided this is who you are is going to determine how quickly you get to this, if you ever do in this lifetime. Your brain right now has given you, stamped on you an identity. It's stuck in the part of the brain called the default mode network. And your brain is deciding, will you ever get to this or will you ever get to this? And no amount of manifesting technique is going to help you get there faster. I promise you. The only way is to get your brain to identify you as this woman, which is why Woo, I love it. I'm just now able to see in the comments, which is why the most important work that you can do to finish this year is to work on this identity. It's the most, do not take this identity into 2026, right? Because your brain is going to keep you here for the rest of your life. I don't have enough time to get into it, which is why I want to invite you to the Wealthy Me identity activation. Give me 88 minutes. I'm going to tell you about the 6 different predictive identity models so you can see nothing more powerful than when you see the truth of who your brain thinks you are. So you can see which one of these identities does my brain think I am. And in that same 88 minutes, let's just change it. Let's literally give your brain the wealthy you identity, because she lives up here. Okay. So if you're here and you're not yet registered, please, why are you not? It's this Wednesday, that October 29th at 12 to 1:28, 88 minutes. Type the word identity in the chat. Go ahead, type the word identity. If you're on Instagram, check your DM. If you're on Facebook, check your DM. It will give you the process for registering. If you're on YouTube, you should get a link. You can also go to tashachen.com/identity. Tasha, TASHACHEN.com/the word identity. Register. It's free. It's my gift to you. This is my gift to set you up for the next 12 months of your life, for the rest of your life, honestly. So you get out of whatever it is that your brain thinks you are, because that's BS. Like this default that your brain keeps you in this cycle, let's end it. Let's get you to this identity. But the power conversation is going to be in the VIP session. That's going to be next Saturday at 12. So the first session, it's my gift to you. There will be no replay. It's live or nothing. If you want the replay, register for VIP. I want you to show up live because live is just, it's a frequency, it's a vibe, it's an energy, it's power. So be there live. If you know you can't make it, then register for VIP. If for nothing else, to make sure you get the replay, the workbook, all that stuff. All right, go ahead, type the word identity. If you're watching, type the word identity in the chat. Check your DM. I'll send you the link to get registered. Let's just sort this out before the year is over. Mwah. I love you all. Happy Monday. Bye.